Hello, everyone. We are coming to you from Benzinga in Hollywood, Florida. It's day one, and I am joined here with Dave Morrissey from Cannabis Experts. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you, Jennifer. Great to be here.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
So we're part of the Cannabis Lab podcast, and today we're just talking with people that are in the space, that are in the industry. So I would love to know a little bit about you, Dave Morrissey, and Cannabis Experts.
Awesome. So Cannabis Experts, I started my company at the end of 2018. So Missouri was just putting that in my background. If I can bring myself back to the patients, I spent a stint during the downtown with a network integration. What we did was we were a best of breed network integrators. So whatever network you call there, give the customer all choices, let them pick what's best for them. It's a very middleman kind of so I did that for about 4 years. After 3 years, that company said the large company at that time, telephones. We opened up our region jobs product, so we did office supplies, from there. Really, it was a technology web stores and really our big question for Bill. And we sold that company off. So I looked at so I looked in it and I saw that network integration model where, in an emerging market like Missouri, a lot of folks in some cases are right. Maybe they're not. So kind of starting to scratch. And everybody knows that's why. How do you sit through? So I saw there being a play for that integration model. So we started Cannabis Experts. Everything from the dispensary to the manufacturing license to the cultivation, literally being a one-stop shop for clients that are the next source colors, stuff and things, glass cases, security, service along with like all the investment we're doing, equipment that goes with and then lights and things. So we've got a really good model. We had a lot of success in Missouri. We took working on in emerging markets. And then anywhere that we license it, we can serve it. So, and also back to some of the other stuff. So we share licenses and help companies, kind of national for selling licenses, to buy. So that's been a great part of the business. So we've been very successful with that. So kind of move it up.
Yes, so much to unpack. There's so many good things. And when we first met, we used the term connector, but I much love integrator, right? Because you're integrating all the moving parts within the industry, literally from A to Z. And so I love that you position Cannabis Experts as the cannabis integrator, because you can really touch and have an impact in so many functions of an operation, which is really cool. So tell me about Missouri. That's where you got your start, right? And so tell me about that market. Fun fact about Missouri, medical to adult use at the record time. So tell us a little bit about Missouri.
So I think I'd like to start that story. Being a it's amazing how the legislature, I think, decides to say, okay, fine, here you go. And sometimes it's not the most amazing point, but either they're allowed to licenses, not licenses, they do things to state. It's like they kind of start to get the way. I think Missouri is much different. They had a good license approach. Our population was up to 2 major centers in the states. But I think in granting the licenses, in 60 cultivations, 84 manufacturing licenses, to keep things on under our medical program, and they made it pretty easy to get a license. The industry was going behind the scenes of creating infrastructure, and the patient count was growing, from a top line, getting ready to buy the product. So from a year into licensing, and then, by the way, we had this crazy thing called the pandemic. Right when, the licensing that was creating a different thing. A lot of folks that suddenly they had money that was intending to go on the market, drive out because of but before it's going to happen. So people had to fundraise. So, for me, it actually helped my business. It was a slowed down big decisions. And it gave me a chance to get there's not a more relationship. And there's always a love. Things have been possible. Just because. So, we really look at this. I don't know if you know our association. It's been very good. The license knowledge that it's an university, not only in first also confidence for and get involved in it. So, and I see a lot of emerging markets, try to get the essential investment. Try to get.
Absolutely. With regards to Florida potentially having adult use, what would you see in the way things went well,
Yeah.
and maybe not so well in Missouri?
Yeah.
What would be some things that you would encourage or like to see Florida go well?
Yeah.
And how will that impact Cannabis Experts?
Right. Yeah. I think I think you've got. I think what I saw in Brazil was they went from demand not just 200,000 donations and so that put a kick about it for a while, started to think like that. I would anticipate some of that would happen, but at the same time, I understand that companies are, largely and I think that's one thing. I think it does get across the I think it's a matter of it seems like Florida, from a operating today, I'm sure they would love to have but it's not as though the folks are stressed and they're not able to, have that successful operations. So hopefully it creates a lot of opportunities and get people on the
And that's, with Cannabis Lab, and I know you're a sponsor of Cannabis Lab, Cannabis Experts, so thank you so much for that. It's really about exposure and relationships, right? So you said something really powerful, like, in our industry, it's all about connections and doing business with people that you feel like and trust, and creating that trust, which I think has been able to position you very well from an integrated perspective to have those relationships, to be able to call on those people and to be of service and to help those customers of yours.
Yeah.
Going over back to the M&A side, where do you see that traction? Is it kind of has it reached its peak? Is it at a low kind of flat? Can you tell me a little bit about your experience with M&A and where you think you'd like to go in that path?
I would say within look at statistically, Missouri from the get-go of the license rate, 70% of them changed into something. So, and we've had kind of a unique experience where a couple companies sort of got another license. So of course others have been okay later. So I think the M&A side that's one of the licensing. So even with those the swaps, we've seen swings in prices, but in other markets, what the market looks like versus these kind of time because you've got so many licenses. One of those that you have to transact. I think that would be a part of the transaction and inflation. Alabama would be fine getting to I think the more limited approach creates a much better and companies that would do that. So, I would say if folks are looking at either applying in a market or deciding on you're going to have a legislation. We're going to go in and say, just know you may be walking because and so it very much matters the state. But it's definitely fun and being good. point A to point C. Um, you know, it's an art science.
Right,
And,
exactly.
you know, we talk about success in it. And we continue, you know,
So we spoke about M&A. If your clients or you have a client that is looking for funding for capital, we're at Benzinga, right? Capital conference. So do you have lines or access to funding or any sort of private debt and any sort of funding opportunities available within the Cannabis Experts realm of goodies, bag of treats?
Yeah. So we not only work with big institutions like Chicago and we have some big gems, and folks that are putting on the side, active way, I think the longer side of the industry, I feel like, I feel like I'm uniquely positioned. And when I say that, there's a lot that goes into it. Once you get to market, established, then it's like running a business. You've got to be, so,
it's hard in our industry.
yeah, and trying to control the things that trying to be successful, which is not understanding, looking for ways to do more with less, and respect factors which happen. So yeah, we have lots of avenues. I see that finding ways to help them make their dreams come true, but also they don't get and give them advice. Like it doesn't cost me. Then I know that we need the bottom. So we try to get.
And I think you give a holistic approach to a lot of what you do in finding the area of opportunity to be the best opportunity to be of service to your clients. Shifting gears a little bit before we wrap up, I actually want to talk about your website. Okay. Your apparel. Oh. You have an amazing logo, the Cannabis Experts logo. And so being that kind of your background, you've been able to bring that to the space too. We've actually been on a couple calls where you've introduced this to companies and talked about your apparel and your swag. And, so just talk a little bit about that before we wrap up.
Lucky. So in my past life, I did that's why we actually got an office supplies.
Yeah.
So we had a pretty good website. But at the time we not only heard that, we also brought so many corporate. So we were trying to do kind of a much more let's make it efficient. Let's provide strong. Let's do some things and pushing some of the responsibilities on the regions, but doing it in a controlled fashion. So we're incorporating well, if you look at cannabis, I mean the volume, supplies, right. But corporate brain, it was I know everything that goes into it. It's like it's something that is going to have a big impact on sales and success, and getting that just part of this. So cannabis packaging, putting the swag. We now are operating we can do a brand design on the logo, any of the material information, warehousing in the US, distributed innovation, gives you a lot of control over that. Let you buy and pick. So really unique. We're actually been working with the GPO. So, we look at ourselves and the ability to call it the 40 or but there's so much customization. That we're well really getting more and more traction. So,
I was really excited to see how much traction you're to gain in that created, and it's a great compliment to what you're already doing, having one-stop shop. So, Dave, how can people get in touch with you at Cannabis Experts?
Yeah, thanks for asking. My website, cannabisexperts.com. So anybody, literally, I would say anything you're going to spend a nickel on, great to modify. we probably have like we can lend just advice on, how can we be more efficient with, distribution, like selling things. You have aspirations to go into a market. Here's the licenses book there with the trading form. We'll just have fun. So yeah.
CannabisExperts.net, Dave Morrissey here at Benzinga Day One. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time.
Awesome.